Welcome to Side Talk Podcast. What's up, everybody? And welcome to Side Talk Podcast, episode 8. I'm your mom's and them's favorite host, Eli Griffin. Thank you for tuning in. Where sports and good vibes live. You feel what I'm saying? I hope everybody had a great weekend and a great day so far. And if you can, show some love, comment, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff for updates, and just show you some boys some love. Some. I appreciate that. Before we jump into any of the news today, I want to shout out for everybody that liked and subscribed over the weekend. That was awesome. I appreciate y'all. So now, it's a big month. We got NFL draft coming up. We have the owners' annual meeting for all that good stuff. Coach Prime got a big contract, $54 million. When they say that he got his own money, that man got his own money. Anyway, our ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Side Talk Podcast again. I appreciate it. First up, I want to talk about in today's your boy Deshaun Watson. So, if anybody hasn't heard, Deshaun Watson tore his Achilles for the second time in a matter of months. I think he had surgery and then tore it again, which is kind of crazy. It just comes to realization is, and the question that people need to ask themselves in a way is his career over? And I hope that it's not the truth. Dealing with his previous, I guess, troubles with the massage therapist and getting rubbed down. It's just seems it just hadn't really clicked since then, man. I pray that he does get back on the field and he get a chance, but I don't see him being that quarterback ever again. Unfortunately, he had a lot of promise, man, which is fucked up that all that went down like that. But one thing, there's a statement that came from uh, his owner. What's his name? The Cleveland Browns owner, Haslam, about just them making a mistake on him, which it's just crazy. It just says Jimmy Haslam acknowledged today that signing Deshaun, well, this was reported yesterday, but signing Deshaun Watson was the big swing and miss, and that they should be held accountable. You can't really hold an owner accountable. He owns the team, so therefore he swung and missed. It's moving on. But his money in escrow, which is probably the worst deal an NFL team can ever do, which they probably will never do again, even though like a Patrick Mahomes or any of those type caliber quarterbacks will be able to get fully guaranteed because shit, look at Patrick Mahomes did, but always in the Super Bowl playoffs, hasn't missed the playoff. So that right there dedicates, but Deshaun fully guaranteed. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out for Cleveland, and I hope Deshaun can get picked up by a team. It don't look likely. Let me know what y'all think, because me personally, I hope he figures it out. He'll probably be a backup somewhere. I don't see him, real shit, I don't see him starting ever again for a team unless it's a backup role, or maybe he gets another chance, but I don't see it. Here's a couple things that I seen this with PFT with Mike Folio and Chris Sims. They're talking about it, and just so you know, Jimmy Haslam, the owner, this is what they said, and this is kind of what they're kind of rephrasing or talking about. I just wanted to let you know what y'all think about this, because unfortunately, Deshaun Watson, man, it's just not right. And I just feel for Deshaun, and that's serious talk and a deep dive. He made mistakes. We understand that. He's nasty. He did nasty work going in those massage parlors and messing with them girls and stuff like that. There's some validity to it because, hey man, he paid them off. I guess that is a dead by association type thing, or yeah, dead by association, I guess. But I just feel bad for Sean Watson in that situation because, talented kid, man. He just, after Houston, he just went downhill from there, man. And my view of it, my take of it is just, just get healthy and see, because there's nothing else you can do. Cleveland still owes him all that dead cap money. I know he restructured this year to help the team out. And I honestly think that they're going to draft Shador Sanders Just simple fact is they need a quarterback. I understand Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter is going to be there for the taking, but who do they have at quarterback, honestly? You know what I mean? You're going to start all over. You might as well start over with a franchise quarterback. And if Tennessee's going to take Cam, I think you should take one of the two and just restart, and just do what the Broncos did and eat the money like they did with Russ's money. So there you go. You know what I mean? So, good luck to Deshaun and Cleveland. Just bad ran. Your franchise just ran poorly. And then, so moving on, another thing that's coming out of the NFL coaches and owners meeting is throwback uniforms. So throwback uniforms was only dedicated to, I think, 2 games this year. I believe 2 games. And I know us as Broncos fans, we love our throwbacks, our orange and blue, light blue. So there you go right here. It says NFL is allowing teams to wear the throwback alternate uniforms up to 4 times per season, which is awesome. I'm a Broncos fan, so yes. So the NFL will allow teams to wear their throwback and alternate uniforms up to 4 times per season, per Schultz report. We love here in Denver. We love our orange and blue, as you can see on the screen, our orange and blue Broncos uniforms. So it would be dope to see them, throw back with the whites, with the blue helmet. That would be pretty dope. But yeah, I honestly think that right there, a lot more fanfare, as well as, probably jersey sales going off the racks just more because they're presenting it on the field. That means more marketing. That means more people going out to buy them. Some of them are available. So yeah, it's just jersey sales. So everybody wins. Fans win with their favorite throwback uniforms, and NFL wins because us as fans and people that love sports are going to go out there and purchase back uniforms. So I guess all sides win, sort of say. Yeah. So honestly, I think that's um a great thing by allowing NFL players to wear their alternate uniforms, and I'm excited for it. I love to see it, and yeah, that's just pretty awesome that they're doing that now. So another thing that they're talking about is the Tush Push. You know how Philadelphia be killing people with that Tush Push, and they talk about injuries, and I seen my man Coach JB talk about it. Is he's an offensive guy, and I agree with him on this. Coach JB was talking about the defense can't combat the play, so there's not a way to stop the play, which I agree with him. So if the defense can't figure out how to stop the play, and it's a rugby scrum, so it's kind of hard, and injuries and stuff like that. I'm not with the soft shit. I used to play ball, so it's football, so it is what it is. But you can't combat it. So what he means when you can combat it, you can't figure out how to stop it. You got what, 800 pounds, 600 pounds pushing the quarterback from behind, and that's dangerous. And it will, I ain't gonna lie, it'll fuck some shit up. Blowing up that nose tackle or those defensive tackles, and it's crazy. But they're thinking about changing it. I'm not exactly sure. I don't think they voted to change it as of yet. It's probably, I think from what I hear, is for a later date. But yeah, so yeah, I just think that they need to figure it out. But this is what the people are kind of saying about it.
Now, the NFL with the Packers' proposal to ban the Tush Push has been tabled. That's the latest from our Jonathan Jones. Team owners, medical personnel, and coaches will continue to discuss that, the potential for a new vote at the next meeting for the league there in May. In order to ban the Tush Push, 24 owners would have to vote in favor of making the change. Jonathan Jones reported today that 16 teams oppose the rule to ban the play. For more on us on there, Pete Prisco joined us here and everything. And Pete, just out of curiosity, your thoughts on why they decided to table this to May? They had 16, so of course missing 8, but the reason why to push it to May.
Well, I think there's a real fight between some of the coaches in the league and some of the front office people in the league and on exactly why or how you should ban it. And, they keep using player safety as the reason to ban it, but yet there hasn't been a lot of injuries as it relates to this play. So I think there's an infighting going on. Obviously the Eagles, the push to keep the play going. The Eagles devised the play. They came up with it. They perfected it. They practiced it. And so The reality is, why penalize them for it? Figure out a way to stop it. And I think that's ultimately why you're getting this thing tabled until the May meetings.
So JJ reported there's 16 teams, as we mentioned there, in effort to ban the Tush Push. But what do you think the reason for the opposition, just to get us to this juncture here?
Well, I think, again, you got to give in. And Sean McVay said that this morning at the press conference when he met with the media here. He said, look, I don't like the play. I think it's a rugby play, which I agree with him on. I hate the play. But you also, by the same token, you have to give respect to the Philadelphia Eagles for coming up with it and practicing it and perfecting it. And therefore, nobody has really come up with a way to stop it. And so it's kind of like a double-edged sword. You hate the play, which I do. It's a rugby play. It's not football. And you respect the Eagles because they have done such a great job with it. And listening and talking with Nick Sirianni about it, look, they rep this play a lot. They figure out ways to make it better. And until teams can stop it, they're going to try and figure out a way to legislate it out. And right now, they put that on hold until the next meeting. And maybe then they can get their better outcome and maybe get rid of the play. I don't think so.
Yes. With that, I respect the play. I ain't gonna lie. That's something that is hard to stop. That would definitely, and somebody that played football and as well played D-line, I played D-line for sure, but that's a hard fucking play to stop. I want to say this. My view and my take on that shit is I think they can keep it, but not able to push the quarterback. Just able to, typical quarterback sneak. Quarterback goes, snaps the ball and dives in the middle, and no lineman or running back can push him in the back. I just think can't maybe tweak it a little bit. But like I said, Coach JB was right. You can't stop that play. It's a rugby scrum. Can't combat it. You can't scheme for it. It's just I guess if you want to think about it, it's just man on man. Who has the balls to go through it? Who just go at the nut up and just you know what I mean? Fire through it, push the line, just be better push. But then again, defense. I don't think the linebackers can push the defensive tackles. I know on field goals you can't line up over the center. You can't jump over the center now. They changed those rules. But yeah, I think that's kind of tweak it a little bit. It'll come off better. I believe. Yeah, and go from there. Just kind of have a compromise, I believe. That's how I view it. Just have a compromise. You compromise it, just don't let nobody know people in the back push the quarterback. If the quarterback goes, boom, then I think it'll be better that way. So yeah, just tweak it a little bit. I don't think you have to necessarily take it out because I think if you if you take it out, you seem like a bitch. But then again, I understand the risk of injury, which, like my man stated, nobody has really been injured doing it. Actually, Chris Jones got hurt on that play in the Super Bowl. So I guess that's one person. Um, I don't know. I guess that's a hot debate there in the meetings, and just I don't know. I just think just tweak it a little bit and it'd be fine. So now, more Denver Broncos news. We got former Colts quarterback Sam Ellinger signed to the Broncos for a 1 year deal. He's gonna back up uh, Nick Stidham. So my man he was decent coming out of Texas. I think he was the last. What is it before Quentin Ewers? I believe it's one of those things where I think Sean Payton likes three quarterbacks in camp arm. What I think do I see him on the roster? Not really. I don't see him on the roster, but he'll probably no one's gonna really pick him up. So camp arm, I believe, 1 year deal. He's gonna make this a project as well, help him out. Sean Payton has a knack for getting some people's old quarterbacks that are struggling to produce more for him and get them better. You know what I mean? And honestly, Sean Payton's a hell of a quarterback coach, guru, however you want to say it. But yeah, 1 year deal, nothing too crazy, probably league minimum when it comes to that. So yeah, welcome to the team, I guess. But yeah, so another thing with the coaches meetings, and I talked about this previously and yesterday, and Sean Payton and George Payton talking about running backs in the draft. It's a deep draft for running backs, and I kind of see with the interview that Sean Payton had, I can see kind of where they're going to go with this. I honestly think they're at 20. I don't know. The only thing I don't know is the value since it's a running back deep draft, and that's pretty much what the Broncos need. are they really going to pick top one of the running backs at number 20? And that's one of those things. Are they going to really pick a quarterback at 20? I don't know. Honestly, if it was up to me, if I can move back like 4 spots, 5 spots from 20 to 25 ish, possibly 27, and then pick up the running back you want, that's probably the perfect ideal spot for me. But they're picking tight end and running back tight end. I can feel it. I'd be shocked if they pick a defensive player, but I won't. Well, I wouldn't be shocked. I can see a nice D tackle with pick 20, because now they're just really picking for best available. And since it's a deep running backs draft, I think they might take a running back in the second round. I don't see them picking a tight end in the first round. So yeah, well, but I have a tell, and you can tell what they're going to pick just by what Sean Payton was saying. They're going to pick up something. They're going to pick up somebody that could play in the middle of the field like a slot receiver, tight end, running back. So he keeps on saying this Joker, this Joker, this Joker, this Joker. But Sean Payton, it's a tell. They're going to go running back, tight end, slot receiver. I'm not saying it's going to be the first 3 picks or however they're going to do it, but that's pretty much what they're going to do. That right there is going to show or should tell Broncos country in a way that, yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to do. So whoever's all the mock drafts, all that stuff, they got us scheduled for. I see a lot with Omarion Hampton, running back out of North Carolina. For the at 20, it's kind of hard to pick a running back at 20, but I'm not one of those old cats that will say I'm not an old cat that's going to say there's so much running back deep. It's running back deep, and let's just not pick up a running back. I say this: if you're at 20 and you have a Trayvon Henderson, was it Krishan Jukins? I say pick him. I say pick him at 20. Not mess with it. Don't fool with it. I say we go running back first, but that's my opinion. And that's how I view it. And that's just kind of how my take is. You do that, that's pretty much what you need. Or go pick a receiver. Since we signed Evan Ingram, I don't think we need to pick a tight end. I think we can do that second or third round because there's some good tight ends as well. Tight ends kind of deep. I like Terrence Ferguson, Colorado's own. Back in the third round, maybe possibly fourth round. I think that's where you go. I think you either go running back, receiver, or receiver, running back first, and then we go from there. I think they're going to trade back. My prediction is if their guy ain't picked at 20, they're going to trade back a couple spots, a draft pick or two, and then pick their guy maybe late 20s, you know. But that's kind of how I see it. I don't see them picking them at 20 unless running backs are just running off the board. So if they're running off the board, then I can see them picking it. So yeah, but yeah, it's a tell. Sean Payton really told us what he's trying to do. George Payton as well. But yeah, moving on. What else I want? But yeah, so another thing at the owners meeting that came out is the new stadium. I know as for me, how I'd rather keep it where it's at or somewhere in Denver close to downtown because that vibe when you get the city, you can go do what you got to do first and then go to the stadium and have fun. I think that's as a Denver Bronco fan and going to the stadium. I think that's where majority of the state wants the stadium to be. I know there's options Aurora and Lone Tree, but no one really wants to go down there. I know they want to make a big old Jerry's World, or I guess you want to say Broncos World, but out either Aurora where there's a lot of space or Lone Tree where there's a lot of space. But it's just now you're going to need more parking lots, more land, more just it's just not the right vibe to set for the Broncos. I don't believe. Maybe that's just my selfish opinion. Where it's at perfect. I wish they could just cover it and do some upgrades and just leave it for what it is because it's fairly new. It's not old. It's what? Opened in 2002, 2002, 2001, 2002, 2001 because it was 9/11. So 2001, what? We're 20 something years old, 24 years. It's not that bad of a stadium, honestly. And if I know if you haven't been inside it, it's actually a really nice stadium. And I know they did upgrades. I know they did some last year or 2 years before or 2 years ago, but honestly, hopefully they keep it in downtown area. I know they have ties to the Cronky family and they got a bunch of land everywhere in the state of Colorado, so they need to connect that, have their connections, and just keep it in downtown Denver area. That's my selfish take on that. But this is Gray Penner, the owner, CEO of the Broncos, talking about the new stadium and what he sees and what his vision is as the owner and what's coming down the line and stuff like that.
Our diligence, is, as I mentioned before, it's complex. We haven't ruled anything out. We're still looking at the current site, other sites around Denver, Lone Tree, Aurora. We don't have a set timetable for making a decision. We obviously have our lease that ends at a certain date, which is a date that we could focus on. It could be something that would happen earlier than that if we needed to. We could be in our current stadium longer. So we don't have a set timetable at this point. Yeah, I mean, we're really focused on what's the best option long term, and we're thinking, and we want to create what's the best option for the next 40 or 50 years, not 10 or 20 years. We're coming up with a good plan, and want to be in our facility for training camp, given it's a great place. Teams actually like coming to us for the joint practices. It's not going to be perfect this year. We'll probably come up with something where we could accommodate 800 to 900 fans in some temporary bleachers, but we'll have it open. We'll have, I don't know the exact number, but we'll have a number of practices that are open to fans and accommodate them, and really want to make that happen. And again, the intent is for this to only be one training camp where it really affects us. So yeah, my thoughts on that with Greg Penner, CEO of the Broncos and owner. I'd rather have it selfishly downtown, right in the middle of everything. I know they have space out there in Lone Tree and Aurora and I believe a couple, I think another place in Denver, but I selfishly, and my take is keeping it downtown. The vibe is a lot better. Hopefully they can move it just to the side like they did before. Maybe it's just stuck in the middle. I'm not exactly sure how it is, but I think keeping it in the city would be perfect. It's just perfect for the city. I think just not my selfish reasons, but I think for overall it would be just great for them to keep it in the city. Everybody comes to the city. All major sports are in Denver, right down the street from each other. Just keep it there. Build a little thing. Build a little complex or entertainment district, and just be done with it. I know, hopefully, they keep that in consideration and stuff like that. But that's just kind of how I feel about that. But we'll see. They still have, 5, 6 years on the lease they have now. The only thing that sucks is I know Empower Field is owned by Metropolitan Sports Athletic Commission. So I know it's not necessarily privately owned. So not all the funding goes directly to Broncos. So I know they kind of want to buy the land and all the real estate, big business reasons. So yeah, but hopefully it stays something like that. So moving on to, a big thing that's in Colorado that just hit. So Coach Prime signed a 5-year, $54 million contract with CU, putting him at CU for until 2029. I honestly think that's awesome. And his contract reads like this. It says, and he's the highest paid coach in CU's history. This is his breakdowns of his incentives: $150,000 in football wins, over 9 wins, dollars more. Plays in Big Side Championship, all the incentives that you need. Which he would have at least got 150 for over 9 wins. I believe that they're going to take it over 9 wins. I honestly think they're going to probably win the Big 12 championship.
Now, let's start with the big news out of Boulder that Deion Sanders gets a massive extension from the Buffaloes. 5 years, $54 million ties him to CU through now 2029. Obviously, this offseason there's been a lot of talk and speculation about Deion's future and where that future was going to be. Some flirtations, whether it was just specifically from the NFL side or even from Coach Prime's side himself. There was definitely some rumors swirling about Dallas and other locations. This contract extension has been talked about for a long time, and they settle and they end up signing. And you know what? Good for Coach Prime, because he deserves this in a lot of ways. And I'm going to run down this because I think that there are going to be, as there is with everything with Deion Sanders, there's going to be polar opposite opinions. And let's just try to lay the facts on the table here. Now, I think most people can do that, and they can do that in a smart and educated way. And so I want to appeal to those folks out there and those college football fans who understand the value of a quality coach and what that quality coach can do not only for the program but for the entirety of the institution. So this deal is going to pay him $10.8 million on average over the course of the next 5 years. That puts him, by the way, at number 4 in all of college football, which is quite staggering because the only 3 guys ahead of him, as you're watching on YouTube, Kirby Smart, Ryan Day, and Dabo Swinney, those are the only 3 guys that have national championships in college football, just above Steve Sarkisian. So Deion now firmly in the top 5 in all of college football as far as pay goes. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, like, wow, isn't that a little bit steep? Well, I think with Deion, it's not just what he's bringing to the field. And I'm going to run through a little bit of that because think about what's happened just in the last year. All right. Just in the last year, Colorado has gone from a 1-win team to a relevant team to a 9-win team and a top 25 finisher. 2 years after going 1-11, Travis Hunter wins the Heisman Trophy, the highest award you can possibly win in our sport. They flipped a 5-star quarterback, Juju Lewis, signed one of the top transfer quarterbacks, and Caden Salter. Marshall Falk is now the running back coach. Byron Leftwich is now an assistant. Deion is a top 5 paid coach in the sport. Like, the momentum for Colorado right now is palpable and good for them. So the commitment level from the program side and Rick George and everybody backing that program is quite staggering compared to what it has been over its history. Because remember now, I went there. I know this place's history. I've been sitting in those north stands since the mid-80s when my dad took me to my first game. And Colorado has never been a place that was rich with resources. I think it's
So yeah, again, I think that's awesome for Coach Prime. 5 years, $54 million, like Joe Class said. It's just off the charts for Coach Prime and CU. I'm thankful that he's here and what he can do for recruiting is unbelievable. People can't say and have that go against him and say, "Hey, Coach Prime is leaving. What are we going to do?" And have that be a case why kids to deter recruits to not come to see you because Coach Prime, oh, we don't know, you might go to the NFL. This is a commitment from Coach Prime to CU stating, hey, I'm here and I'm building something. I'm building not just my brand, but I'm building this university. And now you're going to see recruits, 5-star, 4 stars. Okay, Coach Prime is there. I'm gonna go. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go see how it is. And I know people get on Coach Prime for not recruiting high school players, but he has it. He's gonna do it his way no matter what. I know you build a strong program from high school, but you don't necessarily need 30 high school players. If you can build a team with some transfer players and maybe a little bit more high school players, so just add maybe 5 more high school players. Now those high school players are not going to be 3 stars. It's going to be more of a 4-star, 5 stars, and maybe 3 stars with possible being a 4-star, or 3 stars possibly being a 4-star. So they're going to be better quality of players when it comes to that 3-star range. So this right here is going to blow the doors open. Just for a simple fact is, now they know Coach Prime ain't going nowhere. The only way he leaves, I believe, and this is my personal opinion, is if he get for anywhere. I don't think he's going to go to any college, another college. I think he's set. He's going to build his legacy here. I think if he has the opportunity to coach Shador and Shiloh in the NFL, but that's one of those things where he has to want it. I think he's going to have to talk to Shador and Shiloh and say, hey, would you want me to go? Blah, blah, blah. Some family business. But other than that, I don't see Coach Prime leaving CU anytime soon for another college or nothing, because the way I believe him as a man is, he's going to want to build his legacy. And honestly, I think within these 5 years, he's going to be close to winning a national championship. Just the simple fact is, he's going to be able to get those players now. Now that they know that he's set in stone at CU, they were just going to come. And I guarantee this 2026 recruiting class is going to be a big high school class compared to what he has in the previous years. Because he picks his ones he wants. And I've actually heard that there's a safety, I think it's a 5-star safety, that is already comes for a visit, and he's considering CU even more since Coach Prime has signed that 5-year deal, and he's here till 2029. And I believe they're going to sky's the limit for CU. I'm happy as somebody that lives in Colorado. I'm happy for CU and happy for Coach Prime. And I just want to see them win. You know, my son loves CU. He loves Travis Hunter and all that stuff. So I'd like to see him excited for all those things. I'm just excited for them to put the money or putting CU and the city on the map when it comes to college football as well. But the money part, fourth highest paid coach in college football, I can see it. The stuff what he's done from the economic level to the money that's going into that school, from the rate of African Americans, black folks going to CU, which, you know, there wasn't really much other than if you're an athlete. The enrollment went up, the money's coming in, and now Coach Prime is committed 100% for the next 5 years. There's always buyouts. A team can always come and buy him out. So, you know, that's always a possibility. But I give that slim chance because I don't think Coach Prime is going to just up and just leave. He's going to always finish what he started. And just like he did at Jackson State, like he says, I always finish what I started. So he's not finished. When he leaves Colorado is when he's finished. He's going to go until he literally exhausts all his options. He exhausts everything. He's going to win games. And, you know, it's just good for the city. But, you know, congratulations, Coach Prime. And just continue doing the thing. He does his thing at CU. So I'm excited for that. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. You know, we're going to talk more NBA playoff push with the Nuggets and everything else. Playoff push, mock drafts coming soon. My top 5 linemen is coming out. But yeah, just more sports come to y'all. I appreciate y'all tuning in to Side Talk Podcast, episode 8, where sports takes and great vibes live. I appreciate y'all. For the next time, like and subscribe, hit the notification, thumbs up, help your boy, you know what I mean? Do what you can. I appreciate y'all. I bring as much sports takes as I can. Appreciate y'all again. Much love. Y'all have a great week. We'll see you. Peace.